In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at how you can add a shortcut for adding tax to a price. And this is the one of the videos in the series I'm going to call Math You Can Use Every Day. I've got 4 of these different short little tutorials made up, and I'm going to make up more. So I'm going to start with, I live in Ontario, Canada, and our tax is called the HST. It's a harmonized tax. It's a combination of some provincial tax and some federal tax, and right now it's 13%. So, and I'll deal with other percentages too. I'm not just going to do 13%. So let's say you bought a pair of jeans for $98.99. So the question is, what is the after-tax price? So I'm going to show the way a lot of people will do this, and then I'll show you what the shortcut looks like. So most people will find 13% of this $98.99. So 13% is 0.13 as a decimal. I'm going to use this calculator quite a bit. If you don't remember that, take the 13 and divide it by 100, because percent means out of 100. So that's where the 0.13 comes from. So we're going to multiply $98.99 by the 13%, and you'll get $12.87. And actually, I guess I should have kept the calculator there. 98.99 times 0.13. So there's the $12, and now it says 86. You see, this 8 would make the 6 round up to a 7, so that's why it's $12.87. So that's the tax. So we would take the to get the after-tax price, we would take the original $98.99 and add the $12.87. That's the tax, and that'll give us $111.86. So that's the way. If you want to see what the tax amount is, you'll see. On the receipt or invoice, you'll see the $12.87 and the final price, and of course the original price too. Now the shortcut is this: if you're adding 13% to something, then you're actually finding 113% of it, because what you're doing is the original price is the 100%, the $98.99, and if you add 13% to that, see, there's the 113%. If we divide that by 100, that's where I get the 1.13 from. So this 1 here takes the original amount and adds 13% to it. So if we take the 98.99 and multiply it by 1.13, so it'd be $111.80, and see, the 8 would make the 5 round up to a 6, so $111.86 is the price. So that's the shortcut. It's 1 point whatever the tax rate is. So for example, we'll take another province in Canada. They don't have any provincial tax. They have just the federal tax of 5%. So theirs is 5%, whereas in Ontario it's 13%. So here's the shortcut again. So we're adding 5% onto something. So if you take the regular price, 100% of the regular price, so if you multiply something by 100%, it's the same as multiplying by 1, you get the same amount. So that's the regular price, and we're adding onto it 5%. So 100% plus 5% is 105%. And if you change that to a decimal, then we'll take 105 divided by 100. It's the same as multiplying by 1.05. See, that's the shortcut for changing from percentages to decimals, is to move the decimal 2 places. 1, 2, that's why it's 1.05. So if you want to just add 5% onto something, if you don't necessarily need to see what exactly the tax amount is, you just want to know the final price, which is what most people want to know, especially when you get to the checkout. So you take so we're going to do the pair of jeans again, $98.99, and multiply by 1.05, and you get $103.94. So that would be the after-tax price if you're only paying 5%. If you're, and I'm going to mention 15% here, because that's what our tax used to be. The HST, or provincial plus federal government tax, used to be 15%. It got reduced to 13. The nice thing about 15%, and I'm not saying that because I want to pay a higher tax, is it is actually it's easier to calculate, and maybe even just to get an estimate in your head, so you know approximately what that's going to be when you get to the checkout. The nice thing about 15% is 15 is 10 plus 5. And 10% is fairly easy to calculate a lot of times, even if you don't have a calculator. Um, Almost everybody has a calculator these days, just the app, the calculator app on your smartphone. So it's easy to get to the penny amount. But I want to show you how you could do this if you didn't have that option with you. So let's say you were purchasing something for $48, for example. If I want to calculate 15% of that, do 10% first. To find 10% of this $48, you move the decimal one place. So it'd be $4.80. That's 10% of this. So if you're somewhere where the tax was 10%, then that would be the full tax. Now, 5 is half of 10. So that's the 10% part. Half of this would be another $2.40. See, half of 4 is 2, half of 80 cents is 40 cents. So the tax here is actually, see, 4 and 2 is 6, and 80 and 40 cents is $1.20. So this is actually $7.20 that's being added on to 48. And of course, I could bring my calculator back if I wanted to and do that. So we've got the 48 plus 480 plus the 240. So there's the 55.2 or $55.20. Now, again, just showing you how you could do this if you didn't have the calculator option, like on your smartphone or something. If I wanted a really good estimate for the $98.99, let's say I was paying 15% on this, that's pretty close to $100. So 10% of 100 would be 10, and then half of 10 is 5. So it's pretty close to $15 in tax. So and I'm doing some rounding here. This is not going to give us the exact amount, but it'll be very close, so you get a pretty good idea what your total should be. See, this is almost exactly $99, and we're adding to it 15. So that would add up to $114. The exact calculation is we take the $98.99 and multiply 1 by 1.15, and that gives you $113.84. So this is just an estimate, because we didn't do the exact calculation for this. So see, this would be a little less than 10, and this would be slightly less than $5. But we're pretty close. The exact amount, see, we're only actually off by 16 cents. So this actually calculation here was just an estimate. If you didn't have the calculator option with you, you can get a pretty good idea how much you have to pay that checkout while you're waiting in line. So that's the end of the adding the tax shortcut, and that's the end of the tutorial. Now, if you have any other, I've got 3 other these to do. If you have any other ideas for math using in your everyday life that you think might be of interest to a broader group of people, make a suggestion in the comments. And if I think it's something that would benefit a large enough amount of people, then I'll make a video about that. And that's it for this one.